In Port Charles, secrets never stay buried for long. They simmer beneath the surface like storm clouds gathering over the harbor, waiting for the perfect moment to break. And lately, no one has been standing closer to the lightning than Willow Corinthos. For years, Willow has been the moral compass of General Hospital, the gentle teacher who believed in kindness, second chances, and doing the right thing even when it hurt. But as viewers have watched her world unravel piece by piece, that shining image has begun to crack. Now, in a moment that feels both inevitable and heartbreaking, Willow is finally facing the truth about the choices she's made. And according to Katelyn MacMullen, the actress who has brought Willow to life with equal parts vulnerability and strength, this turning point is one that leaves Willow with complicated feelings. She doesn't necessarily feel proud, MacMullen reveals, and in Port Charles, that might be the understatement of the year. A heroine under pressure. Willow's journey has never been simple. From her traumatic past in the dawn-of-day cult to her long battle with leukemia, she has endured more than most characters could survive in a lifetime. Through it all, she leaned on her sense of compassion, believing that love and honesty would always guide her home. But love, as Port Charles residents know all too well, can be the very thing that leads you astray. Over the past year, Willow has found herself caught in a tangled emotional web involving Michael, Drew, and the powerful Corinthos family. What began as gratitude and comfort slowly blurred into something deeper and far more dangerous. And now, the consequences of those blurred lines are impossible to ignore. This confession marks the moment Willow stops pretending she can hold everything together. The weight of choices. What makes Willow's storyline so compelling is that she never set out to hurt anyone. That's the tragedy of it. Every decision she made felt justified in the moment. A small step towards safety, stability, or protecting the people she loves. But small steps can lead to enormous consequences. Katelyn MacMullen describes Willow's mindset as a whirlwind of guilt and self-reflection. Willow understands that intentions don't erase outcomes. She knows that people she cares deeply about are hurting, and the realization sits heavy on her heart. She's someone who wants to be proud of her choices, MacMullen explains, and right now she just can't say that she is. For a character who has always tried to live by her values, that realization cuts deeper than any confrontation or accusation. The confession that changes everything. Confessions in Port Charles rarely come quietly. They erupt, ripple outward, and reshape relationships overnight. Willow's confession promises to do exactly that. This isn't just about admitting mistakes. It's about acknowledging the emotional truth she's been avoiding, the truth about what she feels, what she wants, and the cost of both. The fallout could be seismic. Michael has stood by Willow through unimaginable hardship, building a family and a future together. Drew has become a source of comfort and connection in ways neither of them expected. And the Corinthos name carries a legacy of loyalty that doesn't bend easily. When Willow finally speaks her truth, she isn't just risking heartbreak. She's risking the fragile peace that holds her world together. Guilt versus growth. One of the most fascinating elements of Willow's arc is the balance between guilt and growth. Soap operas thrive on drama, but General Hospital has always excelled at exploring the emotional layers beneath the spectacle. Willow's confession isn't simply about regret, it's about reckoning. Guilt can be paralyzing. It can trap a person in the past, replaying every moment and wondering how things could have gone differently. But guilt can also be transformative. It can push someone to confront the parts of themselves they'd rather ignore. MacMullen hints that Willow is standing at that crossroads now. She's trying to figure out who she is after all of this, the actress says, and that's not an easy question. It's a sentiment that resonates far beyond the fictional streets of Port Charles. After all, who hasn't faced a moment where they had to reevaluate the person they thought they were? The ripple effect in Port Charles. No confession exists in a vacuum, especially not in a town where everyone's lives intertwine. Carly will undoubtedly have strong opinions. Sonny's loyalty to his family could clash with the emotional fallout. Nina's complicated relationship with Willow adds another layer of tension waiting to ignite. Each reaction will shape Willow's path forward, forcing her to confront not just her own feelings, but the consequences of her actions on the people around her. And if there's one thing General Hospital does best, it's showing how one emotional truth can send shockwaves through an entire community. Katelyn MacMullen's emotional balancing act. Portraying Willow's internal struggle has required Katelyn MacMullen to walk a delicate line. Willow isn't a villain. She isn't even reckless. She's human, flawed, conflicted, and trying to make sense of emotions that don't fit neatly into right or wrong. That nuance is what makes the storyline resonate. MacMullen has long spoken about the responsibility of honoring Willow's core kindness while allowing her to make mistakes. It's a challenge that requires vulnerability, empathy, and a willingness to explore the messy gray areas of human behavior. The result is a performance that invites viewers to feel Willow's turmoil rather than judge it. And that may be why her confession feels so powerful. Redemption or reinvention? The big question now is what comes next. In the world of daytime drama, confession is rarely the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with consequences, growth, and the possibility of redemption. Will Willow find a way to rebuild the trust she's broken? Will she discover a new version of herself in the process? Or will this moment mark the start of an entirely different path? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain: Willow's journey is far from over. A story about imperfection. At its heart, this storyline is about something deeply relatable: the fear of disappointing yourself. We all want to believe we'll make the right choices. We all hope we'll recognize the moment when a line shouldn't be crossed. But life is messy, emotions are complicated, and sometimes the person we become doesn't match the person we thought we'd be. Willow's confession is a reminder that imperfection doesn't erase goodness. It simply reveals the work that still needs to be done. And in Port Charles, that work is never finished. As Willow steps into the light of her own truth, viewers are left holding their breath, waiting to see what the next chapter brings. Because if there's one thing General Hospital has taught us, it's that the most powerful stories aren't about perfection. They're about the courage to face the consequences of being human.